I'd like to give you some tools so you can evaluate how well you're prepared to perform well in mechanical engineering classes. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've entitled this presentation, Am I Ready for ME? So let's see what we have here. And so I'd like to welcome you. I'm a retired graduate engineer, graduate alumnus from Virginia Tech, and I'm delighted to be back to be serving as an adjunct faculty, both teaching and serving as a tutor, an online tutor for thermodynamics, ME 2134. So welcome to the ME department at Virginia Tech. We want you to succeed in mechanical engineering classes and beyond. So as you come into the ME department, you may be coming in from the general engineering college at Virginia Tech. That's great. Similarly, you may be coming into the ME department from community college, either in Virginia or out of state. Both of those situations, that's great. So welcome to everybody. And do be aware that we want you to succeed in ME classes and beyond. We want you to self-teach yourself a lot of engineering skills, and that's going to take a good bit of hard work on your part, so that you can make that jump to success, both success in doing well in your classes and also success out there in the working world or graduate school or whatever you choose to do once you graduate. We want you to succeed. So you may be thinking, I hope, what kind of specific things should I already know how to do so that I can do well in my ME classes? And so I want to share with you what I think we expect you to be good at. So it just came to me. You may be starting in the ME department, and the first course you may be taking is ME 2134 Thermodynamics. That's going to be a tough course, going to require a lot of hard work. But there may be other classes. I've tried to remind myself in my mind, because I came in as well as a student, of what did I have to be good at in order to perform well in the ME classes. And so here's my basic list of 5 things that I would expect you to be pretty good at. Not necessarily an expert, but pretty good at. So for algebra, you should be able to manipulate pretty simple equations to get to a result. X equals blah, blah, blah. Expect you to be pretty good at plotting things, y versus x. A key to success in thermodynamics classes and most other classes is to start with a sketch, and usually that involves some type of plot of a property y versus another property x, or some other situation. You need to be good at plotting things on pencil and paper, not necessarily electronically. You need to be pretty good at integrating basic functions. You do not have to be a calculus genius, but you do have to be pretty good at integrating basic functions. Does the quadratic equation sound familiar to you in your mind? You'll be using the quadratic equation, and you're going to be working with units a lot. And so so you're thinking, how can I check out? How well am I prepared? And so I'd like to encourage you to go to YouTube and find my Jay's Toolbox channel and click on playlists. I have a number of playlists. I think it's up to about 14 different playlists. And I just checked this morning, and you'll find you're going to have to scroll. You click on playlists, you're going to need to scroll down a little bit until you find a playlist called MEPrep. And in that, there's going to be a number of videos, and here they are. And so what I want to suggest is that you check out in this order, check out these videos because I give you it's kind of like you can do this all on your own. It's all, you're watching it all on your own. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. So you can be very honest with yourself as I go through some example problems from very simple to a little more complex and work you through the solution of those example problems. And you can test in your mind, how would I do without this guy showing me how to do the work? And so you can sort of eyeball the times required. And you see that for most of these, the time required is less than 20 minutes, except for the integration that gets down into some integration details. Takes a little longer. But look, I encourage you to check these out. Okay, the algebra, a quick mental exercise in algebra. If I gave you y equals 3x plus 7, y equals 3x plus 7. For y equals 16, find x. Could you do that? So think about that, and the video is going to help you do that. Plotting, the plotting video. Could you plot with pencil and paper, a fairly decent, doesn't have to be a work of art. Could you plot y equals 3x plus 7? Could you do that? Okay. How about x times y equals 8? Could you plot x times y equals 8? Think about that. I show you how, some basics of that and some other simple and more complex functions that you should be able to plot. Integration. Could you integrate x squared dx and come up with a number from x equals 6 to x equals 12? Could you do the integrate x squared dx evaluated from x equals 6 to x equals 12? Think about that. You say, oh yeah, man, I'd have that nailed. That's great because you're going to be doing that a lot in thermodynamics classes and many other classes in mechanical engineering. Quadratic equation. What comes to your mind about the quadratic equation? And could you come up with the two roots of a second order polynomial equation? Think about your background and how would you do that? And then finally, units. Think about, let's see, what are units? What are units of length? Everybody knows. Meters, feet, inches, centimeters. And you got to be able to be pretty good at using units and changing units from one system to another system. How about time? Units of time. You know, that's seconds, minutes, hours, and you've got to be pretty good at being able to rearrange those to some basic units that you'll need in problem solving. How about mass? Units of mass. You know that off the top of your head? Kilograms. That's a unit of mass, isn't it? How about an English system? Pounds mass. Some folks would say a slug. Well, that is a unit of mass. Okay, we don't use that in our thermodynamics class in ME 2134, but those are measures of mass. So you get the idea. And then finally, units of pressure. We use that a lot in thermodynamics. Units of pressure, what would that be? That would be a force divided by an area. And so in English, it would be pounds force per square inch. Most all aspiring engineers know that set of units. And let's see, in SI, it would be newtons per square meter. And that's also known as a Pascal. I'll have to tell you that I didn't know that stuff straight out of the box. I didn't know the SI units for pressure until I started taking thermodynamics classes. All right, so I'm going to pause here just for a second, encourage you to find my Jay's Toolbox videos, sweep through these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos, check out, it's going to give you an idea of what we expect of you, and it's also going to give you an idea of how well am I prepared? How am I, do I feel pretty good about these little example problems that are presented or not so good? Okay, so let's say you hit pause or you stopped and you went through those videos. how did your self-evaluation go? You said, man, I got all that stuff nailed. I'm in great shape. I'll have to tell you, I didn't have anything like this when I started into the mechanical engineering department. My algebra, pretty good. Integration, pretty good, not the best, but pretty good, good enough. Okay. Plotting, I started out pretty sloppy, was pretty good at understanding functions, but I had to force myself to get better and better at plotting things. And my professors helped me get better by evaluating my work. Quadratic equation, use sometimes, not a great deal. And now units, I'll have to admit, I wasn't the greatest guy at units and canceling out units and stuff like that. But by hard work and practice, I got better and better at it. So recognize you don't have to be a genius in all five of these topics. You just have to be pretty good. So think about how you did. Be tough on yourself. Think about how you did. And now, if there's some of these topics, particularly these three I'm showing on this slide, let's say you looked at the algebra video and said, man, I'm not very experienced at that, and I don't feel very comfortable with manipulating algebraic equations, plotting. So, man, y times x or x times y equals 8. I don't have any idea how to plot that. No idea at all. Integration. I don't really know what integration means. I remember getting through calculus, but I forgot all about it. I really wouldn't know where to start when I'm asked to integrate x squared dx and numerically evaluate it from 6 to 12. If you're in that boat for any of those three, if you think you're really lost, I really want to recommend that you set up a face-to-face meeting with your undergraduate advisor and talk about that and talk about where you might get some help at Virginia Tech. Or you might refresh your memory at Khan Academy Online or some other method where you can do it yourself or get face-to-face help at Virginia Tech. Now, but a point I want to make is that if you need some really basic help in algebra, some basic help in plotting y versus x, a big refresher course in calculus and integration, the ME department is not where you're going to get that basic assistance. Faculty and staff are here to help you. We're here to refresh your memory a little bit, particularly by working through homework problems, by you asking questions in class. But faculty and staff, have so many things going on. You probably do understand that we can't help students one-on-one with the basics of algebra or integration or basic plotting of functions. So I hope you have an understanding of that. But also, I hope that you go through those videos. I really, really recommend you go through those 5 videos, browse through them, even if you go through at double speed to go through quickly. But self-test yourself, self-evaluate yourself so that you can get a feel for how well you're prepared to begin taking these mechanical engineering classes. I wish you all the best of luck. I would encourage you to sign up for my online tutoring group when you take ME 2034 Thermodynamics, and wish you all the best in that class and all your ME classes and beyond. So that's it. And again, wish you all the best. Good luck.